Most people think that only those who are overweight have diabetes. No, it's not true because being overweight increases your risk of diabetes, but you can look lean and still have diabetes. So, how is obesity actually linked to diabetes? And why do lean people also develop diabetes? Let me break it down for you in this video. So, first point, the hidden culprit in diabetes is insulin resistance. So, of course, obesity and diabetes have a common root cause, that's insulin resistance. When you gain excess visceral fat, now what is visceral fat? It is the deep fat around your organs. You have the liver, you have the pancreas. So, these are your metabolic organs, right? So, around these organs, there can be fat, which is called visceral fat. It is not visible on the outside. So, a person may look lean from the outside, but still have more fat around the metabolic organs, which is called visceral fat. So, when you gain extra visceral fat, this visceral fat can release some inflammatory chemicals which make your cells resistant to insulin. So, you remember I spoke about insulin resistance. I gave you the example of the locked door and where insulin is the key to the locked door in my previous video, right? So, because of these chemicals, your cells become resistant to insulin. And because the cells are not accepting insulin, the pancreas are signaled to compensate by making more insulin. Why? Because the organs are the cells are signaling that there is too much sugar. Again, the sugar which is in the bloodstream has to be digested, so more insulin is being produced. All right. So this vicious cycle results in type 2 diabetes. But again, you don't have to look overweight to have insulin resistance. If you have heard of the term TOFI, that stands for thin outside, fat inside. TOFI. So some people look slim but have high amounts of visceral fat around their internal organs. So, this visceral fat slows your metabolism and you develop diabetes and high cholesterol and other metabolic issues. So, again, the real issue is not the weight, but it's your metabolic health. You must have seen some people who are overweight but metabolically healthy. Same way, you can be lean and still have poor metabolism and other health issues. It makes sense, right? So, here's how you can keep your metabolic health in check regardless of weight. When you do your blood test, see to it that your fasting insulin is low. If your fasting insulin is low, that means your metabolic health is good. When you check your lipid profile, you should see to it that your triglycerides and especially HDL cholesterol levels are normal. Also, observe other things that you feel in your body. Make observations apart from the blood test. You should have sustained energy level through the day. If you're feeling lethargic, if you're feeling exhausted, not just on a random day, but on a daily basis, if you have such experiences or sugar crashes at any point of the day, that means your metabolism may not be healthy. Also, some people have excessive sugar cravings at any point of the day, especially late in the evenings. Again, it could indicate that you may be having insulin resistance and your metabolism may be getting damaged. All right. So, first thing is that your weight doesn't matter, it's your visceral fat that matters. Second most important, fat distribution matters more than BMI. What is BMI? Body mass index is a ratio of your height to your weight to show whether you are in your ideal weight or not. Yes, BMI is a good indicator, but it's not the ultimate indicator of health because not all fat is equal, right? Visceral fat, which is around the organs, is much more dangerous than the subcutaneous fat that is under your skin layer. So, when we're talking about obesity or having more fat in the body, we are not really talking about subcutaneous fat. We are talking about the visceral fat, which can damage your metabolic health. So, someone with a normal BMI but high visceral fat is at a higher risk of diabetes than someone with a higher BMI but less visceral fat. That means your metabolic health is much more important than how much you weigh on a weighing scale. Again, coming back to the basics, reversing diabetes is not just about weight loss, it's about improving how your body processes energy.